All right. I think I admitted everybody in.
To the funny farm?
To the funny farm. I feel like I belong on a funny farm.
You do.
Goodness gracious. It's been a whirlwind few days. But Adam joined me on a sales call today, everybody. And he did good for me.
It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, that's going to be a good little proof of concept.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Oh, come on,
Great.
it's Friday. You can't be
Friday.
I'm doing good. There's music playing where I am, so I'm keeping it on mute without if I'm not talking.
You'll be on the down low. Sounds good. What about everybody else?
Good. It's
Yeah.
good week. Good
Hey,
week.
Kyle, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's a good week. I guess I'll see you next week in person, right?
I will. That's the plan. Yeah, I'm gonna be so Mark Hunter and I are meeting when I'm there as well. Do you know Mark Hunter?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be a good few days. Plus I get to find time to go to In-N-Out because the Southern Californian in me just misses it.
You want me to take you to a real burger place, or are you good with your In-N-Out?
And, well, how about if we do both?
Or better yet, I'll take you to Heart 8 and get you some barbecue.
Yeah, we could do that too. We could do that.
Where is here? Where are you going?
I'll be in Dallas for 2 days next week
Very
with
nice.
Cups, one other company, Mark Hunter, and I will actually be. I didn't know Dr. Howard Dover, who runs the professional sales department at University of Texas, Dallas.
Yep.
All his students, like it corrects me, all his students are following us or following me. They connect with me. I've given them free access to the Fist Bump Tech if they're one of his students. And I keep getting students that send me messages like, Dr. Dover told me that I need to pay attention to I only need to pay attention to what you're talking about for prospecting and no one else. So I'm following you. I'm like, oh my, so I reached out to him and I said, hey, what's going on? And we chatted and he's like, I'd love for you to speak to the students. And I said, well, next time I'm in Dallas, I'll let you know. And so I'm going to be speaking to 2 classes on Thursday before Cups and I meet.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Do you know who's a good friend of Dr. Dover? Is
Scott.
Spence.
Spence. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Spence, I think, has spoken to that class a couple times too.
I'm sure he has.
So
Well, we've got a lot of, let's see, Chris is here, but not on video. Reem is here, not on video, and then a whole bunch of note takers. Well, at least makes us look busy. Cool. Well, Daniel and I wanted to show you guys today some of the new stuff within Fist Bump. It's kind of self-serving for us, but it's also I believe it's going to be very, very valuable for you guys. Daniel has done a phenomenal job building out Creator Studio, which should save you a bunch of time. I know, Reem, if you're paying attention, I'd love for Reem to be able to talk about how she's using it as well and how it's saving her time, but also it's time isn't very important, of course, in creating posts, but it's helping us create really good posts because of the work that Daniel has put into the back end with the AI. So I want to show that to you guys today and make sure that you have a good use of that. Because it will save you a bunch of time. It'll make Fist Bump a lot more valuable for you. The other reason, this is where it's a little bit selfish for us, is the next step with Creator Studio is being able to create content for blog articles or LinkedIn articles, which I think are so important. Cups, you've been doing a great job with your LinkedIn newsletter articles. Love for you to share how those are working for you. But what I like about LinkedIn newsletters or LinkedIn articles is LinkedIn emails your subscribers. You know, there's such a challenge right now with email getting out. LinkedIn will email them and tell them that they have a new article, brings them into LinkedIn, which feels a little bit less salesy than sending them to your blog. So we'll be able to use Creator Studio to create blog articles, and I want to use it to start being able to create email messages for you as well, but very personalized, very direct emails, not just, hey, let's create an email and then go blast it out to 2,000 people this month type of thing. So that's the overview from my perspective of where we're going. Daniel, do you want to add anything to that?
No, not really. I mean, there is definitely more coming when it comes. I think you mentioned email. Sorry, I wasn't just responding to someone else on a message, but being able to have it specifically take into account the prospect, who the prospect is, and your messaging to them. So yeah, that's all in the works. But we're always open to your feedback. That's kind of
so that,
especially,
you know, saying that much right now, before we show it to you, maybe that's the backwards way of doing it, but before we show it to you, what are some of the use cases that you guys think you'll need that you've experienced? Like, oh, I wish I had this, I wish it did that, or even other tools you're using, or just not even using a tool, we'll go, gosh, I wish I had a tool that did this, or anything around the content creation. Love for you guys to be able to share that. Like the one that I really wanted, and Daniel built it for me and then built it for us. But, and I'm going to show you this today, is we can take transcripts from calls, or like take transcripts from anything. You can take any sort of written document, actually, load it into Creator Studio, and with a few different ways of doing it, create social posts right now. But the goal would be that we could use that into creating an email or to writing an article also. So this is a use case for me. I have a really good call with the prospective customer. We record it, we get the transcripts. They're saying what their challenges are, what their problems are, what they want to accomplish. Like that is just great content for us to produce at scale. And we don't have to say, you know, hey, I was talking to Michael Cups and these are all his problems. Let me just go air out all his dirty laundry as a sales leader, right? We're not doing that. We can just say, hey, this came from a conversation with a sales leader in the technology space or whatever it may be. We don't have to name them and air their dirty laundry, but we could use the foundation of that conversation into really great content that the rest of our target audience should, and I believe will, resonate with.
yeah, Brandon, I didn't think about that, but that's a incredible use case. If you homogenize a conversation that other leaders in the same field will be wondering about for themselves, that's a great way of getting to the point, I think.
Yeah. So being able to take that transcript and turn it into 2 or 3 social posts for next week. Like this is what I'm thinking, like today's Friday, but it's Wednesday, Thursday, very efficiently take a transcript, load it into Fistbump, say, I want 3 posts, get them to create. And this isn't perfectly done right now. And I'm probably stressing Daniel out talking about what's coming, not what he built, but being able to say, I want 3 posts on this, creates 3 posts. We schedule it for like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the following week, take the transcript. I want to write an article on it, or I want to write an email. And you kind of build out a whole theme for next week with social posts scheduled, maybe an email that goes out is kind of a mini newsletter type email or something you start sending to people. And then you have a LinkedIn newsletter that goes out as well. That's the way I'm thinking about it, and being able to be efficient and take what I think is the best type of content that we can get, which is customer content, and convert it into public content. I'm pretty fired up and excited about this, y'all. If you haven't noticed, I'm trying to contain myself.
And I want to mention like the big differentiator between what you're seeing, because you're probably seeing AI post creator tools out there. I mean, I think I see a new one every week as far as like a either LinkedIn specific or social post specific. And the big differentiator that we are trying to do is that we're creating posts for you based on your own content, your own answers, your own transcripts, all of those things, and then packaging it into a post that you can then, of course, edit and tweak. Where most of the tools, if not all the tools I've seen up to this point, are largely created for growth, for getting engagement, where they're taking other people's posts and kind of repackaging them, or they're saying, here's a viral post for your industry. And so they're more about, as these tools get more prevalent and more used and better, there's just going to be more good posts that are generic and more industry posts, but not you or your discussions or your stories. And so that's really I mean, we could try to chase that too, and then we're just going to get lost in the noise, but this is more around building a tool that's specifically putting you into the post. So that's going to kind of always be our focus.
Yeah, that's where the twin comes in, you guys. And if you don't know what we're talking about with the twin, let us know. But going in and training your twin, getting your words, getting your tone, your style, your word choice. One of the reasons that I really loved what Daniel built with the microphone in the twin, that you can speak your answers, is because that's our most natural version of ourselves when we speak. When we go to write answers, all of a sudden we're like, I'm going to craft an answer and try and make myself sound better, right? And it's not authentically us. But as Daniel's worked really hard to refine that twin, we're leveraging that twin for you, but then we're leveraging the twin for entire teams of people. So what I want to show you guys here, I'm sharing my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, I've got two reasons of showing this today, and I'm going to be very honest with you. One is I want you guys using this. It's going to save you time, and hopefully it makes your post more enjoyable for you. The second reason I want to show you this is I want you guys to understand the capabilities of Fist Bump, and then appeal to you on our affiliate program to keep referring us to people to help us grow. Because there's some really cool team features in here too that you guys may not know about. Okay. So type of post, you can create a post for yourself that taps into your twin, but we also have the ability, and this is where our social concierge comes in. So Cups is an example with what we potentially could do with you all, with the integration into Funnel Amplified, would be, we're creating a post, but it's now going to run through everyone's twin before it gets delivered to them and be written for each individual person. So the twin it would be, I'm going to create a post based on whatever content I want. Once I approve it, I like it, it'll go to everybody in my team, or we do it as a concierge service. It'll send to each individual user. And when they get it, they press a button and it'll rewrite based on their twin. So it's their words, their tone, their position in the company. And so if you got 50 people on a team, we're delivering 50 unique personalized posts for each person. The value is now you got 50 posts in LinkedIn that are not exactly the same. Like one of the weaknesses that Daniel and I know we have with Funnel Amplified is that we want unique posts for people. You got to create a unique post for each person. But now with TwinIt, it'll create those 50 unique posts for each person. I'm going to pause there because I know I threw a lot at you. Any questions or comments on that?
I have one like technical question pertaining to the content creation of this. I know it's leveraging the Twin engine, and it's like feed your Twin, it's going to feed you kind of thing. Is it able, or is it able to look at the content that you are feeding into LinkedIn? Right. So like I'm working on a post right now about the Masters. And that's fairly unique that I don't think, my Twin is going to have any content. So I'm creating that. And, if I like it, is this content editor seeing the content that I guess, create novelly directly to the LinkedIn platform?
No.
Okay.
No.
Now you can, sorry, Daniel, go ahead.
Good. No, I was going to say there's kind of two ideas behind creating content in my mind, especially when it comes to AI, is like there's like the subject matter. What do you want to talk about? Your stories, not how it's said, but what you're talking about. And then the second one is how it's said, your tone, how you write, format posts, and all those things. So like those are the kind of the two things that I'm looking at when I'm using AI to create the post. As far as what you're talking about, that would be fed based on the information that you give the Twin, the answers you give. How it's said is going is not quite there yet, and that's what's coming, which is fine-tuning the Twin, or in the technical term, the model, to respond in the way that you respond. So that would be feeding it actual content that you've already written, or that AI has written for you that you've edited to sound the way you want to sound. So I'm working, that's kind of like the behind the scenes. What I'm working on right now is using the Chrome extension to be able to pull those posts. I don't think I've even talked to Brandon about that. What I'm working on is like pulling the actual posts that you've already written inside of LinkedIn. Visiting your post page and then porting that into our system. And so it will actually fine tune your Twin based on content that you've already written. But as far as the problem with us pulling it out of LinkedIn for you is that's impossible via the API. So even if you connect your LinkedIn account with ours, we can't pull anything from LinkedIn except for what you've posted through our connection, through our API using our token. So the only other way we could do it is with, we can call it what it is, scraping, basically visiting your own post page and scraping. And that's coming. And that's kind of what I'm working on.
Cool.
So would it be better if we created the post through Fistbump instead of creating it directly natively on LinkedIn?
It would then be saved inside of our database already. And yes, we would have we'd have quicker access to it. But that's a user training issue. And anytime over the last 6 years, we've ever said that's a user training issue, like it's usually fallen apart and not worked. So I'm trying to get to the point where it doesn't need to be a user training issue. Like you just have to install the Chrome extension and visit your profile and it pulls it all in, or you can choose the ones that you want to pull into our system. So that's not there yet, but yes, that kind of hopefully answers your question about making the content more like what you've already written, but it's not there yet. We're going to jump into this, but there's an area in your Twin section where you can upload user content. There's a button for user content, and you can actually just paste in your posts. That's what I'm going to populate for you kind of in the back end through the Chrome extension. But if you click on upload content training right there, you can actually upload content manually. It's a little bit tedious, but you can say, you like the style, it's my content, here's a description. So you'd say one of my LinkedIn posts, and then you just paste it in. This will be the framework that I'm going to fill for you via the Chrome extension.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel, on that same note, I'm not sure if this is, and I haven't been using Fistbump much because Reem has been doing most of that work for me.
Sounds nice.
Which is fantastic.
By the way, your Mexico post was really, really awesome. And I think Reem used Creator Studio to build that.
Yep. The question I have for you, Daniel, is instead of typing it in, can I do a first draft just by talking to it, and then the Twin take it from what I say just by hitting the microphone to text?
In the studios, in the Creator Studio?
Yeah. Like here, you're talking about your upload. Can I just hit a microphone and say I would like a post that says that blah 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 blah, and it kind of takes it from there?
There's some, yeah, once Brandon goes into it, you'll see there's like some
Okay,
prompt
okay.
fields that you could do that with.
But not
There- go ahead.
verbal? We don't
Well,
have,
there's not a microphone button, but are you on Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just hit function twice, you have a mic, you dictate. And 100% transparency, it's better than anything I can build because it's Apple's actual dictation. So I
Yep.
prefer using that because it actually like rewrites and punctuates, and it does a much better job of what I can do because I'm doing like a straight audio to text translation.
Yeah.
And the built-in one in the OS is better.
Okay.
I'm okay admitting Apple can build better on their own hardware than I can.
That's a bold statement, Daniel.
Or
one
in
more
general,
que-
Apple can probably build better than I can.
One more question about this. I've seen LinkedIn has when you see somebody that you're following and you want to comment on their posts, LinkedIn now has an AI says what's the insights from the post, and it
Mhm.
just seems so lengthy. If we have a post from an executive at a company that can we cut and paste that into the studio and say, can you write me a reply? I mean, I don't always want to do that, but there's some that I might want to be a little more thoughtful about.
Oh, you mean to write a comment from their?
Yeah, to write a comment on an executive's feed.
One thing I would do here, and this is probably not something we don't talk about much. So like if you click on comment, Brandon, and then you click on the fist icon, you can actually click other, and you can actually write whatever you want here as it's part of the prompt. This is something that needs to be improved in the UI, but like you can say whatever, like, can you start with a famous quote that applies? Can you blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you would want to say here, but something specific that you feel that you want to add to the comment. And that will be additional prompting to the AI. So this is kind of a little bit of a workaround.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so it gave you like a Dale Carnegie post here.
Yeah, because everybody needs one of those.
Exactly.
That's great, Daniel. Thank you. That's all I was looking for. I wasn't looking for anything more complex than that. That's awesome.
It is much easier than taking it and putting it in a GPT or in chat.
Okay, so that's if I can hit that fist bump right in the comment of anybody. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and that's typically how if I'm going to use AI commenting, that's the main thing I'll do it for, is like give me a little inspiration on something to spice up my comment, not necessarily comment for me.
Yeah, exactly.
in
All right, so everybody go to this post and try what Daniel just said.
Right now. Only if you respond to it, but
I will right now.
That's funny. I know I wasted it. I could have copied and pasted it and given your comment. You got Troy and Jason. Look at you. And we can take a look at too, like, we don't want to build things until you guys are telling us like what you really want. We've done that before. Cups, Funnel Amplified is so robust, and about 15% of the features Daniel built actually get used. So we're not doing that. We learned a little. But right here, we've got your comment styles. And if you haven't taken the comment style assessment, go take it. It's free. That'll help you. But right now we got this just as a prompt. But if we find there's some typical things that you guys are going to want, we can add them as buttons in here. So you don't have to write prompts anymore. You just click a button. We just have to start hearing, like, what do you want? Like, maybe somebody's like, hey, I always like responding with quotes. We could put in here that's a prompt to like, give me a quote, like give me a comment that includes a quote or something like that.
Or length of comment. I think the AI that I set up with the prompt is kind of the comment is somewhat specific, or it relates to the length of the post as well. But you might want to change that. Like you might want to say, even though it's a short post, I want to give a long comment, or vice versa. Yeah, we could definitely build that in to make it more of a push button comment.
Cool. All right, so let me come back here and start showing you how to do it again. And Daniel, jump in anytime because
Mhm.
Daniel and Reem are actually the experts here, but I'm the one talking for some reason. So you got your different types of post. And again, this is, we could even create a company post. That's going to tap into the company AIQ and bypass the twins entirely. Or we create a post with Twinit, it's going to tap into the AIQ to write the core post. But then when it gets to each person on the team, gives them an alert, they come in, then they twin it and it'll rewrite that core post from their twin, so in their own words. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a post just for me. And then you got this on the style. You can go as personal or as professional as you want. This doesn't mean, is it a business post or a personal post? This is like the tone and the style of it. How conversational, personal, informal versus more very buttoned up professional. So you've got your 5 different options here.
I will
And-
add, if you go full personal, it's going to have close to zero connection to your business. So it's not going to use the AIQ pretty much at all. It's really like what some people call top of funnel, or like being a person on LinkedIn. If you go full personal, it is going to be more of like, it might be about you walking your dog. It might be, based on what your direction you give it, but it won't try to like make a professional twist to it at all. And if we need to clarify that some way in the UI, I just want to make sure everyone knows, like if you do personal, it's going to be a personal post.
Now, I'm actually going to ask Daniel, you or Reem to talk about the proven formats. And I have a transcript ready to go for uploading a file, but we can go in
Okay.
order.
Yep. So proven formats, if you click on it, it's going to let you use more of a post structure, and we're still cleaning these up, but they're kind of like proven posts that have worked for either good engagement or good formatting in the post. And then it will rewrite based on your twin. So if you just want to pick one, I think we're trying to cull these down a little bit, but
Yeah. Is there one in particular you guys like better?
I've never seen Sunshine. I don't know who added Sunshine. That sounds interesting though.
Yeah, and that's what we're really working on, guys. What's behind these, the format of each one of these, we really believe in, but we haven't had the time to go in and really like figure out what the right name for each one of these is. So they mean
significance
something
of
to
small
you.
Do the book principles one. Curious to see what that comes out like.
Daniel, I haven't used these very much, to be honest. So we give it a little bit of prompt.
Yeah, you can. It's going to rewrite based on your twin. So what your ICP. So I'm sure you've set that up in your twin, like who you're writing to and who you are. You could give it a book here if you wanted, like use the book. Pick a book for me, use the specific book. You could tell it here, like the book that you want to use based on the structure. I've never done specifically what you're doing, so this is like I'm
You
somewhat.
said I could.
No, go for it. I mean, we're
I've tried it in that way. I've actually gave it more information to add in the post, and it worked.
okay.
This is actually really good.
It's always cool when it surprises.
I love
me
it
that
when the
works.
developer's surprised that it worked.
Hey,
You need a better poker face than
I
that.
am. This
All
is
right,
like
so I
developer's nightmare is what I'm living right now. Like
Yeah.
testing
I actually
things.
really like this, Daniel.
Okay.
I mean, this may surprise you, but one book impacted me deeply, and it's not. I mean, I might change this to say, my favorite, as you guys know.
Mhm.
But really, The Fifth Discipline by Peter Senge is one of the books. I mean, I've used the principles from this book since grad school. I learned it in grad school in my in one of my classes. I forget which class, but this is pretty good.
And
Yeah.
and
I
if
like this format.
if I saw it right, did you write the 6th discipline and it corrected you?
I think I did, because I started to write fifth and I went, wait, why am I blanking? And you guys were all here, so I finished it, but I think I
Yeah.
did. Because it's the fifth discipline, the art of the learning organization is the subtitle. And yeah, it even pulled in the right book.
Just like Daniel designed.
Exactly.
Just like you designed.
Make up for people's typos. I think that was probably ChatGPT that did that.
This is
but
real-
I'll take
this
credit.
This is great, Daniel. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So,
So,
what
I
I'm
would
gonna
say the proven format concept, it can either give you those or you could even paste in your own. But for now, we're trying to give you some to give you a nice little step up to not have to think about it. But yeah, it's more meant to rewrite existing posts, and then you can give it a little bit of information to help fill in. You're actually publishing that to LinkedIn?
I am, because I
Okay,
haven't
go for it.
published today. I've been busy since 6:30 and I just hadn't got to it. So
Might actually hold my breath a second time. Let me jump on LinkedIn.
Was successful.
it says successful. The question is, was it really? And you notice I didn't do an image with it, but I forgot
Hey,
to,
I think you should hashtag everybody on the call since we all helped you.
that's true. This is a group effort.
It is there. It's live. I'm gonna comment. Did you use AI to write this? But no.
I'm gonna say Daniel helped me write it. So look, we're getting there, guys. I mean, I think that was a really great example. Sorry, Daniel, I probably took a few years off your life by
You
doing
did
that
actually.
live with people.
It's turning gray. My face is
But those post structures, and I've talked with all you guys, you probably heard me. I don't want to call them templates, because template doesn't do it justice, right? There is intelligence behind it. They're proven they've worked before. There's things like a hook at the top. There's bullet points. There's calls to action. We've got some in there that is the do this, don't do that. So it's like do this, don't do that. And it, 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines. So there's intelligence built into what the eye sees. It's not just here's the content, but what does the eye see? Because the psychology of getting somebody to press see more is one step. That's the hook. But then when it opens up, if you see a lot of words, right? Too long, TLDR, right? Too long, didn't read. That's the psychology behind it. So we've got spacing that's built into there. They've done a really good job. The only thing we haven't done is figured out how are we going to name these. And I think they keep waiting on me to come in and do it. And I just, in light of everything else we're doing, I just haven't had time to do it. But that's what's there for you guys. And I think, yeah, it's not going to be perfect. You know how to connect with Daniel and ask him for help, beat him up, give him requests, all of the above, whatever. But go play around with it. And you saw, like, I didn't read the whole thing, but that was a really good post out of my twin, just based on saying, here's the name, use this book. What do y'all think?
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the proven format is huge because, I mean, content creation is one thing, but like having formats kind of predefined that, have a great track record. I think that allows, for me, that tries to be a little bit creative, it allows me, great lanes to stay in while still being creative.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I would say that I think I mentioned earlier, but like if you find a template we don't have and you want to use it, just go through those steps, and instead of choosing one, paste yours in, use the prompt tool the same way. Basically, that we're not limited to our templates. I want to make sure that you can bring another one in, just drop it in the same way, and it's kind of flexible in that way.
And what I'd say, if you don't get that, you find a template, ping Daniel or Reem or Nor or I, and say, I got my own template. What do I do? And then we can show you then.
And
I don't know if that's
with not much work, I can give you, like, there's the button up there that says social templates. We have access. You guys don't, because we were worried that it would be confusing.
list.
People would understand. Well, you could create one for yourself and save it for yourself. But we just talked about, let's let people understand the concepts first. but we could open that up to let you create your own templates in the system. But if it's not something you're reusing all the time, you might not want to save it anyway. So you just want to use it that one time.
So we know that that same feature we can do as what we call the twin it. So,
Mhm.
and this is where I'm encouraging you guys to think about us with friends or other companies or colleagues. With our social concierge program, we would come in and do it, use the same thing, taps into AIQ. We create a post just like we did there for twin it, and I'll do it for fist bump demo. I could choose one of these post structures and do it all over again. Let's say engagement strategy for target audience. Illustration post. Obviously, I'm not ready to load a image, but I could also give it a little bit more prompt. With here, I guess we don't have any in there, but I could choose a specific file from our AIQ, or it'll take the collective AI learning of the AIQ. You can always give it additional prompts and then write the post. And I don't know what this one's going to come like because I didn't choose a specific article. But what this will do is it will create it. I could come in and let the human edit it, so we're not totally relying on AI. We don't want to put anything out there that's stupid. But then once it's done, my option is to send to twins. And what it'll do is notify everybody on whatever team this is that they have a new post ready. And when they log in, their call to action will be, they can review it and then they hit twin it and it'll rewrite it from their twin. And now they have their own post. Let's see how well you did, Daniel. You got an A on the last one, but
Okay.
75% of small business level advanced analytics. Oh, it's actually a really good post. I don't know why I said surprised.
I know it's the second time in a row you said actually.
Yeah.
Keeping
As soon as actually came out, I felt bad.
it's all good.
Guys, this is the work that Daniel's been doing. It's been really good. But now I can, if I click here and say finish and notify users, everyone on the team was going to get that notification. They'll be able to come in, twin it, and they could either publish now or they could schedule to publish it in the future. And that's where a little bit of training would come in and just say, hey, go build these out. You know, you're going to get 3 of these on a Friday, but you could then schedule them for whatever days you want next week, type of thing.
Mm.
Thanks for those applause, Adam. I don't know if Daniel saw them, but I did.
Oh.
They're directed at Daniel.
Those are definitely directed at Daniel.
All right. The last one is the company post. And same exact process. But guys, what I would love for you to be thinking about is this type of post right now is a social post. But what's coming would be, instead of calling it a post, it's going to be a type of content. Do you want an email? Do you want a blog article? Do you want it refined specifically for a LinkedIn article? What other type of content do you want? I mean, I could see us taking something like, can you build a call script for me based on a specific transcript of a call that went really, really well? And think about, do I need to recreate a call script for the team? Because this call was perfect. It was excellent. Now let the AIQ go out and build you a new call script. That's where my brain's going is a CEO of what I would want, but I'd love to hear what you guys would want.
I have one, but I monopolized some time, so I want others to contribute.
I think I'll jump in and bail you out for a second, Cups, and then you can jump back
We'll
in.
go back to Cups.
Yeah. I think email would be an awesome one to have in here. And call scripts would be good too. But yeah. I was just thinking, like, you almost could just rename that create post to create content. And then underneath that, you could pick post, LinkedIn, you know,
Email. Yeah.
Instagram, whatever, like. Because I would imagine, and Daniel, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the scripting's the same. You just got to change the format, right?
Largely, yeah.
Like,
I'm even thinking just one level higher, like you click Creator Studio, and that would drop you on maybe a select 6 different options, and then it would take you into this, because this to me is kind of a post, because you're thinking ready to twin, draft, schedule, past posts, all those things, but
yeah,
maybe one level up and like have almost like a choose your next option there.
yeah,
But yeah, I like that. Have it all inside of Creator Studio.
yeah.
All right, Cups.
Sorry.
Well, as I try to do more with video, whether I'm interviewing someone, a customer or something, it would be nice if I could get like a summary of that could be used across not only LinkedIn, but maybe Facebook, Instagram, something like that, you know, where you could just kind of say, oh, now condense that for Facebook or something like that. And just for multiple formats to use. I know we primarily focus on LinkedIn for business, but you know, sometimes it's good to hit those other channels too with the content.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that note, I was just thinking when you said video, like it'd be really cool if it would do like video scripts or
Yeah.
even like interview questions, right? So create me a 30-second video about this topic.
Great. Yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Got that, Daniel.
Yeah. Well, and not to make it too tedious for you to do, but you can, these questions you're asking for it to give you that feedback, you can do that already through AIQ Studio.
Okay.
And you can ask it questions like, hey, can you give me a script for exactly what you're asking for?
Oh, cool.
This is what I'm building the UI on top of, is this
Okay.
AI, which is just to oversimplify it, you know, it's an AIQ, it's a GPT of your company.
Yep.
But there's specific, you know, prompts and directions, and so that it pulls it out correctly. But this is basically you can do what you're asking me you know, for me to build. You can do that here. And then once we see, hey, this is a consistent thing that people are wanting to do, then we could build a button around it and a kind of a framework to make it easy, push button. I'm not trying to push back on not building it. I'm just saying, like,
No,
if you want it today, you can actually just go do it and ask for it and see what kind of results you get.
I figured that was the case. And like
Mm.
I said, you could almost go into the create post side of things and just use it. But
Yeah.
it was
Hack
just,
it a little bit.
yeah, but I didn't know, I guess I didn't recognize the AIQ Studio would do
Yeah,
the same
you can do
thing,
that
so
all
that's
here.
awesome.
And that is a good example why I really wanted to do this. I think there's a lot of power in Fist Bump, and there's a lot of efficiencies in here that we just haven't spent enough time on. We've been really training in what we do, but I think there's a lot of real efficiency features in here. Like AIQ. I mean, this is really powerful to go do anything you want based on your company AIQ as a starting point. Right.
I have a question for Daniel. As we're talking through this, I think one of the things that I'm definitely taking out of this is the proven post or the proven templates, right? Like, I love that. Is there a way to be able to do the same thing to kind of piggyback on what Adam is talking about, as far as evaluating video content? Like, I would assume that these proven posts are really focusing on the weight of the text language in the post, but are there proven models for video format that we could start learning from that, you know, now that script is great in text format, but if you're going to actually say it on camera, you know, is there a way to start measuring the quality of engagements based upon that? And that's just where my brain's going. I don't need it. I don't, but I'm just wondering, because as we're talking about different channels, right? Like, if, you know, taking content for LinkedIn and being like, oh yeah, maybe I want to put this on Facebook today. But Facebook really is kind of a different beast as far as consumption and audience and stuff. So do the proven tactics change based upon the format that you're leveraging?
It's so funny you mentioned that. I literally screenshotted this morning an Instagram feed that came up on my reels. It's 7 viral hooks for videos. And it's things like the number one mistake made in X industry, or the number one mistake made by sales professionals today is, right? My new
Yeah.
favorite thing to do is, oh yeah, there's one more thing I forgot to tell you. You know, there's like all these hooks. So I love where your head's at with the, like let's create some different
just some proven, because I do know that, again, we consume video differently than we read, even though
Yeah.
the messages may be the same, but like the format is probably a little different.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say for now, since we don't have anything like that built, you could put that into those custom prompts to have it
Okay.
tweak it, or say that you're writing this content for whatever network,
Okay.
and that should help guide the AI better.
Okay.
But no, nothing I can think of off the top of my head for that. That's an interesting thought, though.
I'll throw that screenshot that I took.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, Adam.
In the group, just so everybody has it.
I mean, I copied your post yesterday, so might as well copy everything else.
Yeah, by the way, that post exploded for me. It was like
It was brilliant. I loved it.
Oh, it's a good post. Cups, I just saw your chats. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I didn't use time banded.
I'm just joking. No
Yeah,
sweat.
that was bad.
No
Well, let me-
sweat.
I want to show you this one, guys. I mean, this is the one that I personally really wanted. Because I thought it was using the uploading a file. Oh, we didn't do use one of my answers. Let me just click on it. I'm not going to go in and do it, but these are all of the questions that I've answered from the twin. So you can go in here and take any topic, any question, any answer, anything you fed into the twin, and turn it into a post. And eventually you'll be able to turn it into a blog article or a LinkedIn article or anything else as Daniel adds those to the platform. So the one, let me go back. So the upload a file, I'm going to upload, this was a transcript from a sales conversation. You could add additional prompts. So and same thing that you guys saw earlier, it will take those transcripts and write it for you.
Just so we know, I was 2 out of 2 to this point, so this would be 2 out of 3 if this didn't work well. I just want to clarify before we see it.
And a 600 and plus batting average gets you in the Hall of Fame. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's see how it turned out.
Greatest hitter of all time.
We need like in the upper right hand corner of Dan's like thing, like a little like tally that says like scoreboard.
I just build that into fist bump. There's the Daniel scoreboard.
The Daniel scoreboard.
Hey, Brandon, could you write a article on the ego of the developer?
Yeah, we got to build up Daniel's ego. Come on. We got to keep them believing big. But hey, here's the thing, whether you like this or not, you can edit it. Like for me, I mean, there's just too many big chunks like that. This isn't eye friendly. But you always have your rewrite options here. And you can come in and access your settings and say, hey, let me change my grade level. I don't want any emojis in this one, and it'll rewrite it again. And then of course you can do the human edits, like things for me with that. I'm really focused on what the eye sees, because
Even worse.
when people look at a post, if it looks long, they're out. Like we don't have attention spans for it. So that one didn't do so well, Daniel. So
Yeah, no, I
you're still
agree.
in the Hall of Fame, but
Well, I mean, just go in there and hit enter like 10, 20 times, you'll be good. This is where once we have your content, whether you're creating it through our system or once I can pull it out of LinkedIn, I'll be able to better guide these posts.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out a way to kind of meld all of the features together, but the problem is then it's overwhelming, because if it's like, oh, I want this format, but I want to upload a file, and I also want you to take one of my answers, like that's a lot for people to just, comprehend all of that at the same time. No insults against anyone. I'm just saying it's a lot to like see all of those different options. So we were more like trying to take people down a path of, are you using a file? Are you taking an answer, or are you using a proven format? But if we could like have a proven format with a file, I mean, I guess I could add the file upload piece into the proven format and we could see how that
Mhm.
works. If we could say use a proven format, but upload a file as well. I think I removed it from proven format, but sorry, I'm kind of rambling a little bit. But yeah, if you could add a file here as well, maybe
Yeah.
we get better results here. But then you'd need to know like what format am I choosing that I want along with this file. But that's why I think it went off the rails a little bit in its style, because it didn't get enough direction on spacing. And
Well, maybe you could just get the software to like do my sales for me, and then I could just sit on the
that would
beach
be
too.
yeah, that would be
Yeah.
a solution for you. Yeah. It's interesting what there you got a little bit of bullet points in there.
Yeah, I'm reading the content, and the content's good.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to spend 2 minutes writing a post, I think for most of us that's probably less time than we're spending right now. To be honest, that's less time than I spend on my posts. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you spend 2 minutes to get a quality post pulled out of a large transcript, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
See, even when it doesn't work, I justify it into actually working.
Yeah, you did good. I mean, it's good content. It's very
Yeah.
rich.
Just needed a little bit of tweaking.
Yeah. And the only thing I'm missing here too would be the schedule, because I actually would schedule and publish this. I don't
Yeah,
want to publish
that's
it now,
coming.
but
I got a
the
ticket.
schedule
So,
button's not there.
yeah, I know.
So. Well, Daniel and Reem, was there any other features that? I'm
Yeah,
glad we talked a little bit about AIQ, but what else?
the last piece of creating your post is creating it from those answers. If you have any, I don't know, Reem, is that how you did Cup's post yesterday? Was that from an answer he gave? Because it was very like specific to his.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I usually do the same thing you do, but I usually just put some of the information within the box. I never just leave it on its own.
Mhm.
So I usually say, hey, I'm Michael Cups, and I'm currently working at X, doing X, and I just put the current information, so
Mhm.
it's more and more and more specific regarding which topic, of course, I'm creating this post on. So because yesterday I was talking about okay, sorry. So yesterday, because the post was talking about how it all started, so I made sure to just say what am I working on and where am I,
Okay,
and that's it.
cool. Yeah, but that was just that third option inside of my post, which is using one of your answers to
Yeah.
create it.
Good stuff.
And then, yeah, you just choose an answer that you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I need to work on getting those. I don't know how this one's going to format either, but maybe when you don't give it a proven format, that it gets a better. Oh, this one looks like it's at least giving you some white space and some. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, it needs a little bit of,
DLC.
maybe even we put something in here with spacing, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, we're not far off. The content is good, just gotta work
content,
the
yeah.
structure.
That's the
Right.
main thing. Yeah.
So tapping into your twin for comments has gotten a ton better. It's very powerful. And then for creating posts and then creating emails, creating articles, I think is just going to keep doing better and better for us.
Hey, then Daniel or Brendan, a quick question. So there's a lot of long posts and medium posts, but it seems like shorter posts to me, and maybe it's just how I consume it, are better. And then secondly, what's your advice on always, never, or mix it up having an image attached, a picture attached or something.
Yeah. Daniel, you want to jump in first?
I seem to get, I don't know what it is. I don't get great engagement on my posts without some sort of image.
Yeah.
It's just been pretty consistent for me that some sort of image has helped. But sometimes I just put a text one just to like see if they'll stand alone. But they don't seem to. They don't seem to.
No.
Something at least as far as text.
Yeah.
That's my general feeling, but I don't know if it's just because of the way my eyes get attracted to different posts.
Mm.
I think if we just think about ourselves, like the way I started learning about what to do is I was like, okay, what captures my attention? What do I pay attention to? And it started to develop. But I think that's why I emphasize the selfies, and not just a selfie for a selfie sake, but, you know, with other people. You were at a meeting. I think, you know, the one you did with Panera Cup. So I've used that a couple times as examples. That was such a great, you got the Panera sign in the background. You were telling a story about what you do throughout the day. You got great engagement on it.
Yeah.
You know, I started thinking about it. I want to do a post. A lot of times when I travel, if I've got a little bit of time and I need Wi-Fi, I actually go to Marriott hotels because that's where I have my best status. And I use their Wi-Fi in the lobby because it's always quieter and it's better than a Starbucks. Right. So just, you know, things like that, I think give people the opportunity to go, oh, wow, that's interesting. Never thought about it. And it keeps us top of mind. It keeps us adding value to our network. But yeah, I think the variety of posts, like Adam's great example with the dog, and hey, this is a post about nothing, Jerry Seinfeld, right? Got great engagement. He said, I like some short posts. I like longer posts. I mix it up. Here's what I do find. If I'm consistently doing the same, my engagement starts to drop. It's like people get bored. And the other thing, and I read this and I've been sensing it too, is pictures that are clearly AI are just getting ignored.
Yeah.
The kind of the illustrated looking, colorful picture type of thing, totally getting ignored. We're just like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree. I did a post with one of our clients with an AI image, and it got like 0 impressions or interaction. In 3 days I posted the same post, but I ditched the image and it did very well.
Good job, Ree.
Nice.
Yeah, so I agree with that because I've tried it, because I thought that this post is gonna do very well, but however the numbers were not just giving. So what I did is I didn't even delete the old post. I just like reposted the same post without the image and it did very well. So I agree very much.
Love it. Cool. All righty, y'all. Thank you so much. Happy Friday.
Thank you.
Adam, nice flannel Friday you got going on.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I think my post today might be like, how long into the summer is it socially acceptable for me to wear flannel?
Doesn't it depend on where you live and how cold it is?
I think so. Like, actually, one of the arguments that I had a friend of mine tell me is like, it's not a date in the calendar. It's a time in the spring in Michigan. I could put a flannel on at like 7 o'clock and sit around a bonfire and have a cigar. But when it's 75 degrees and sunny at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, but Adam, there may be a rule like you can't wear white after Labor Day. Maybe it's Memorial Day or something.
Oh, there you go.
And as long as there's no Daisy Dukes with the flannel, then we'll be good.
Now you're just kidding. Now you're just being picky there, Daniel.
Adam, I don't want to see you in Daisy Dukes.
But maybe what I'll do is my summertime flannel, I'll just pull the sleeves off.
There you go.
That's what I think it is.
Actually, Adam, why don't you just test that Daisy Dukes and the sleeveless flannel in a post and see what engagement you get?
Yes. Please let us know ahead of
You
time.
will get a lot of engagement, I guarantee it.
We're just going to want to block our calendars off and keep hitting refresh on your post and watch the play-by-play. Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
Hey, I hope this was good for you. I think that the work that Daniel's put in and the refinement that he's been doing, he's building really good stuff. And Reem and Noor and Sadala and Amir, our concierge team keeps growing, and they've got really great tools to keep serving y'all. So now you guys got the tools in your hands too to go do it for yourself.
Awesome. Really appreciate today's.
I
Yep.
appreciate you
Thank
guys.
you. Thanks,
Have a
guys.
great weekend.
Have a great
Yeah.
weekend.
See y'all.